Making music for fun is actually holding you back from real success. Many of you all are starting out making music because it's enjoyable, it's fulfilling for the moment, it's fun for you and your friends. But fun alone won't build a lasting career. I know this struggle personally because for years I made music for fun, but also I made music for money, specifically after the fun ran out. And let me tell you, it actually became a harder struggle to make music for money than actually what I'm going to talk about today. So if you're ready to turn your career into a legacy that lasts, tune into today's episode of the Music Money Makeover Show. First things first, we got to talk about is doing music for the love, which is fun, right? When you do music for the love, it's generally fun for you or a stress reliever. It can also be a source of healing. Doing music for the love alone is not a way to create a major impact on the world directly. Therefore, it's not a decision that will create a music career for you. Doing music for the love of it is not the same as doing music because you believe there should be better such and such music in the world. You see, love and fun must be developed into a bigger purpose in order to elevate you. Doing music for the love of it is the same as saying you're doing music for the sport, right? That's all it is. Yes, I get that it's fun. And that's where many of us start out. It's cool, let's try it out, let's see where this goes. And then you get the next notion that, hey, I'm really good at this. I can make some money doing this. That's the next notion you get. Or when you say I can make some money, it is followed up by, I could be like that person. Yeah, and your friends are like, yeah. So it leads us to our next point about money. Doing music for money is risky. Doing music for money is the #1 way many fail in this business, going down and hating themselves and the music they've become forced to create. It's an internal force. Ask me how I know. Because doing music for money binds you to a material source, which is the money, while creating something that comes from an untouchable source, which is the creative force that allows you to make the music. Those two don't mix. Money is a byproduct of creating, promoting, and selling high quality audio dopamine through a medium, okay? People want to consume it through, which is like Spotify or CDs or vinyl, if you will. However, this often never leaves a lasting impression on the public because the public can feel when something is forced upon them for money. You put the energy into it, even though it sounds great, it sounds amazing. But when you're making it, you put the energy into it for the sake of, I'm doing this because I'm trying to get through to make this money. And we can feel what that feels like. Prime example, I was in LA one time and I had an artist listening to my beats. I was like, hey, look, just come to the SLS. We'll sit down in the lobby and put some headphones on and listen to my entire catalog and pick which one you want because he was spending some money. So he was listening. He was like, yo, I can hear when you were angry this year. And then you, in this year right here, you were really pushing for something, but it still had a little bit of that anger attached. And I thought that that was really, really unique. And that was something that stuck with me for quite some time. So that led me to believe that, oh, I'm not loving what I'm doing. Even though it can be fun sometimes, I'm putting myself in a position of strictly doing it for money, and all of my energy and intention is going into this music, which just does not make a good sell for people because guess what? If they're not angry to match the anger I put into the music, then it's not going to be a good fit for them. You see what I'm saying? So let's develop this a little bit. Check it out. Doing music for legacy is game changing. And this is what I wanted to get to. Doing music for legacy gives a greater, less self-centered purpose for doing your music because you can't put your ego in legacy. You'll always consider others when creating this way. Creating music for a legacy for your family, an interest group, culture of people, or even humanity gives a level of drive for your creativity that becomes unmatched. Legacy equals purpose. So once you have purpose, nothing will take you away from that, and it becomes a fight to the point of completion. Now, I'm going to open this up a little bit more. When we begin to do music for legacy, we consider everything else that we're going to affect, right? So imagine this, you're making music, you're in the studio, you're recording, but then the thought comes through your mind that, hey, I put this out and this is going to be my keyword for the next few minutes. I'm going to transform the general public to this. And that also transforms me to this person right here. Okay, so whatever I'm doing right now, when they listen to this music, they're going to end up doing that, whatever, in so many different ways. And I'm going to have the power to do that with my mouth and my mind for its creativity. This is going to leave a lasting impression on the public of who they perceive me as. Now, some of you all may say, hey, I don't want to worry about what people will think of me. And I agree, you shouldn't worry about what people think of you. But every intent that you put into your music that transforms the public to do something is coming from your mental and your soul, right? So when you put that into the music, just remember, this is your legacy now that you're leaving, right? And for some of you all, it just depends on how you view that legacy and what you want to be remembered for. Some of you all want to be remembered for the best dance music. Some of you all want to be remembered for the best club music. Some of you all want to be remembered for the best rock music and the best such and such, right? Whatever it could be. But then watch when we open this up a little bit more. Check it out. You have to become the person that can leave a legacy, all right? The question you should ask yourself is, who is the type of person I must become to leave the legacy that I saw in my vision? Because the legacy doesn't happen alone. Were you making millions in the vision? You were? Well, do you know how to manage millions? How do millionaires talk and move, and where do they shop, bank, and eat? Were you headlining tours? You were? Well, do you know how to create a fan culture that can get you to that level? How do you care about your fans now? Do you care for people at all? You don't get legacy without becoming. This means you have to develop yourself. You got to. So check this out. We get a vision, and that's the vision that's the path that you go down, right? Because when you started making music, it was fun. You were doing it for your friends. Yeah, man, I'm going to make some music. It's going to be fun. We're going to have fun. Everybody's going to be rapping, kicking it in the yard or whatever, in the backyard and all that stuff. And then you got good enough and you said, you know what? I can make some money off of this. I could be like the next blah, blah, blah. And your friends said, yeah, you could do that. What was in that vision that you saw? Because the first thing you went after was the material. So if we could look around the material and see the other thing that you saw, what was the transformation that you gave the public? What was that? And now, what do you have to become to make that transformation, not only for yourself, but for the public, as massive as it could be, as massive as you saw it in that vision? Were you rich? You know what I'm saying? If you were, then what do you have to become to be that? What does it take to maintain that lifestyle? How do you become that? How do you put yourself in that position? Where are these people that you can get this information from and surround yourself with? You understand what I'm saying? So not only do you have to be mindful about the type of legacy that you're going to leave, but then you have to become the person that can actually do it, that can actually leave the legacy. Now, a lot of you all are going to ask this question, and I know it, and it's, what if you fail? You cannot fail leaving a legacy with music, because a purposeful vision came attached with the direct reason or indirect reason you're doing music. The only way you fail is if you quit. The catch is, if you quit, you'll never forgive yourself, which hurts more than not making the choice to act upon the vision in the first place. Okay? That's how deep purpose runs. It's almost like a string that's running through your body and you're pulling this rope through, and you gotta keep working, right? Quitting when you don't make money doesn't hurt as bad as quitting because your purpose was not fulfilled. So if you say, man, this ain't making no money, like, it's gonna hurt to quit because you put so much work in, but it's like, yo, it's not making any money. I'm gonna just leave it. I'm gonna go find something else. Because the money, it doesn't matter. It's the purpose. You're transforming yourself. You're learning, right? You're transforming the people. People are now attached to that transformation that you begin to give them. And when you quit with that, it hurts a lot more than if you, hey, we were just having fun, man. Look, that part is over. Oh, I was trying to make some money, couldn't make no money. That part is over. Or again, well, hey, it could have been something. I could have went down that path. I had the vision. I could have chose the vision. I didn't. Whatever. It's not going to hurt because you didn't have to try it all. But once you're on the path and you've gotten around the money aspect and you now understand that there is purpose in what I'm doing, if you quit, that's when you fail. Because once you quit and you decide, you cut off all other choices that are possible and you decide to say, I'm done. Once you do that, you can't get back on that train, because when you get back on it, it's going to be a totally different energy sphere at that time. It's going to be over with. So check this out. What if you haven't found the purpose? You don't find purpose. Purpose finds you. Remember, purpose always comes with a vision attached, and vision must not be confused with thoughts. Visions are seen. Thoughts are consciously processed. So picture this. A vision is sort of like a TV screen that comes on and it has a quick preview, like maybe a second. But in that second, you see almost a whole lifetime, or you see years within that second. And that TV screen is invisible, but you see it, right? You saw that vision, boom, it hits you, and you saw everything within the next 10 years in that one vision, right? And then you come back to reality that quick, but it almost feels like you were out there for a good 15 minutes looking at that vision, and it is with you for the rest of the day. The thought is different. The thought is, hey, I can make some money with it. That's the thought, because you're always looking, if you had to think that thought, you're always looking for ways to make money. Everybody is. Once they become aware that you need money to survive, you're always thinking of ways you can make money. And you'll always remember that you need to. So when you do something that you're good enough at, you're going to say, yeah, that could help me survive and thrive to the next day. I could get some change off of that. You know what I mean? The thought is manufactured consciously right here, based on past events that you understand and you stored in your mind. Right? But that vision, you couldn't do that. And so when you see that vision, that's when it begins to change the game for you, and you choose that vision. That's when it begins to change the game for you. But I need money to survive. Money will come, but only as a testament to your diligence. Pervasive money never amounts to a desirable result. Okay? Stay diligent in it. If you stick with it, meaning that you really love, like you're not only love it, it's fun, you love it, you found the purpose in it, you've gotten your way around the material, and you're on your way to leaving a legacy. At this point, the money will begin to flow in to the point where it may feel like you can't control it. Opportunities will flow in at that rate, right? But you got to leave all the material stuff on the table. You got to focus on the vision and the purpose. Come back here, okay? Because that will change the whole entire game for you. Now, watch this, because this was actually in my vision years ago. Plus much, much more. I'm gonna give you a little bit of meat. If you are a music creative or a new music exec who wants to build your record label or publishing company in 60 days or less with the foolproof step-by-step process, jump into my course, The 60-Day Record Label. You'll be able to gain real funding for that label. You'll prevent yourself from getting screwed contractually. And then on top of that, you'll be able to keep your funds out of the pockets of the middleman. The link is below. Get started today. But if you're skeptical, grab my free guide, 10 Major Steps to Increase Your Record Label's Profits. A free split sheet is included with that, and a free mini course is included with that. Now, let me tell you about this course. This was on my way. This was in my vision, right? So I saw all the way to the end, and I'm not going to tell you what it is, because this is major, major, major. And I know that I've transformed the lives of many people with this course alone. Hundreds at this point. Well, actually, not the course. We've transformed the lives of almost 2,000 people. The course alone, hundreds, the book alone, thousands, right? And as we begin to do that, this is now leading me down the path of the vision that I saw, which I'm not going to say because it's too massive and I don't want to give a lot of stuff away. And this was one of the things on the path. How to make it easy for people. Because it's going to be difficult, but how do you make this music game make sense when you're just getting started? And what did I need to know when I was just getting started that would have made my life a whole lot easier than a lot of the OGs that really wasn't teaching the game, let alone knew the game? And how you do it on an independent level. Because somebody that works in the major label system does not know how to work the independent system. Two different beasts right here. So how does one make this work on an independent level? And I said that, you know what? I'm gonna figure out what that is. And that was I started this journey I started making music at 16. And the journey really started when I was 18. And I was like, okay, how do you make money in this? How does this become a job? And I didn't know that that's what it was, but I was going down that path, and everything that I did was around that. That's hence the channel Music Money Makeover. And it's a growth process, something that I'm not gonna quit on, right? Because this is a fabric of my very makeup, helping you all. So that's why I made the course. That's why I promote it to you in every single video, because I know that it's going to transform your lives, right? And for those of you all who's binge watched my content, you'll see everybody who's gotten the course and they fight for it because it's transformed their lives. Same thing. But let me talk about the upside in this. Creating with purpose will take you to heights unseen because you never get a chance to see the full scope of your original vision. You get only a glimpse. So it would be in your best interest to push towards it. And this is kind of what I was just saying. My vision was so massive that I couldn't understand. When I saw the vision of what this was, I'm thinking the year might have been 2010, maybe. And I'm not even there yet. I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not there yet. I can't see the full scope of it, but I know who I have to become. I know the skills that I need to learn, and I can kind of tell where I am. But this is the upside to working with that purpose and that vision that you have. Go back in that vision and look at it, and then write down what you remember that you saw and think about everything that could possibly get you to that point. And when you write that down, you'll begin to see certain things unfold. Here's the downside. Creating music for vanity will become a road that is hated as you travel down it with each step. It leads to a life of pain because there was no vision attached to it. And yet it ends up being just a lesson because it was only a trial for trivial reasons. You see what I'm saying? So you went through a trial, but you didn't get it. You probably got a few lessons out of it, but it was for trivial reasons. You went through this trial that was self-induced because you were strictly doing it for money. Now I'm preaching to the choir, right? It was a self-induced trial. But in it, you learn some lessons that can put you right back on track to your purpose. You see what I'm saying? Following that vision. So really, the one thing that can take you off of that vision, that road, is material value, the worldly values. So you got to get right back to what you saw right there. We want to be right here. And if we can get right back there, then we can continue to move through this thing a lot faster. Yeah, there's going to be roadblocks. Yeah, some people are going to fall off. Things are going to hurt. Your feelings are going to get hurt. You're going to hurt some people's feelings. People are not going to understand. But this ain't for them. If they were right there in that scope, then them the people right there that you're looking at, and I know who those people are. And then there are people that are on the side of that scope of vision that you might haven't seen, but they're coming too because they have to be a part of that vision as well, right? So keep working towards the vision and let the money find its way to you. Music money makers, if you make music, you should always make money. Log on to musicmoneymakeover.com, jump into the 60-day record label course beneath this video, smash the like button, book a call on musicmoneymakeover.com, download the free stuff beneath this video, and guess what? I'll see you next time. Peace.